check is and contain it. What the hell is that? The threat is now global.
Guardian has been deployed. Hostile Guardian is active. Deployed online.
Punk motherfuckers, dude. Are you fucking serious? God damn. So done with this game. I'm going to go to X Defiant and bury this motherfucker in my backyard. No burial procession. Just bury it like a fucking dead body I found.
Brought in to act as a mediator. Quote, early in April of 1887, some of the boys came down.
Fucking horseshit fucking game, dude.
Trusted to get the best of the game. They were in a pretty bad condition. There's war to the night between the Cowboys and the Rustlers. Battle at the time the two outfits ran together. I was the mediator and was the deputy sheriff. And quote, indeed, Tom claimed to have helped 3,000 with 3 different county sheriff officers simultaneously during this period. Not sure that is, but he was most definitely, for sure, deputized there in Vito County. And as far as him being a mediator, this was backed up by his old mentor, Al Seeger, who stated that Tom refused to align himself with either side, despite both factions offering the pain. William Coulter, yet another Pleasant Valley Ranger, saying that Tom's main purpose was to assist in the first team of the Valley Grand Coupe with quick fighting. Look, he may have also been employed as a range detective. His theory is supported not only by Pleasant Valley locals, but also Tom's own brother, Charlie, who stated that he was close and employed as a detective by prominent cattle during the Arizona. For himself, speaking to a reporter years later, he said he had killed men throughout Arizona. As a scout, and was a detective and regulator in campaigns and cattle thieves. Soon, he was referring to the troubles there in the Congo Basin. It also appears during this time, when he was a member of the vigilante group in Pleasant Valley, known as the Committee 50. The secret of organization that was used as a team, and Tuesday was a member of the sort out the world. Okay, would assist these vigilantes in lynching with these 3 men. He's also suspected in taking part in the death of Graham family ally, Martin Blevins. Apparently, Mr. Blevins left home one day in search of some horses, and not only did he his body, never discovered. Like I said, Tom is a suspect, and he certainly had the skill set. However, much like a real G, Tom Horn moved in silence like the Zani. What bragging that is. October,
Target wrecked. Real thing's coming soon. Enemies dropping into the AO.
Fucking jumping faggots, dude. I love when, because I got a riveter, dude. Go ahead and jump. You're jumping right into the fucking blast, you stupid fuck. Fucking idiot.
zone that would open to responsible, setting in for violence. Get scared women, back there, they
Resurgence. Survive to redeploy fallen teammates.
Why do every game you fucking little carpet cruisers go over there? What the fuck is over there? Nothing is over there. It's like monkey see, monkey do. You see one monkey do it, they all fucking do it. That's what you get. That's what you get.
Squad mate left the AO. We'll reduce your redeployment time. Enemy squad's on to you. Stay sharp. Enemies are dropping into the area. Watch the skies. Hostile mosquitoid online. Stay alive so your squad can redeploy. Your squad mates got
You can kiss my fucking dick, bro. You can kiss my fat fucking dick. Oh my fucking god, dude. You dog shit motherfuckers, bro. Get the fuck off.
Offering their services not only
Dog shit, dude.
security and contractors. Days after such notable bandits,
Fuck it.
James Cassidy.
Fuck it.
Pinkertons had more agents than the U.S. military had soldiers. Both the great Ian McShane, HBO's Deadwood, Pinkertons are muscle for the bosses. Got nothing. Fucking edge. And that is pretty much the truth. Back in Tom's day, the Pinkertons acted as personal enforcers for the rich and powerful, doing everything from chasing bandits on behalf of the railroad barons to breaking up striking workers for large corporations. Pretty much any dirty deed that he was doing, it goes to the policy pay. Sometimes their actions were within the bounds of the law, sometimes you'd be better off not to ask too many questions. Like I said, Tom did apply and he did get the job. The boss is there in Denver in April of 1890 to begin his training. Believe it or not, each new detective had to undergo sort of a probationary period. This time they become familiar with the handbook, as well as learning how to track expenses, just brushing up on the various tricks of the trade. Cover, he'd have to learn an investigative technique known as making the rounds. Something that one of his co-workers, Carly Siringo, had solutions for success. Picking up valuable intel and or working in informants as the night progressed. Not gonna lie, sounds like a pretty nice job other than the part about being snipped. As it turns out, though, it may have been a little too much for Tom Horn to handle. Fact of the matter is, on his very first undercover job, Tom would get so carried away in the role that he would find himself under arrest for armed robbery. Boy. Now, this job in question had him posing as a railroad employee, working his way down the line from Oregon to Reno, Nevada, investigating a recent train derailing. Guess the powers that be thought that maybe it was done intentionally, operating under the alias.
Check your gear and weapons. We'll be deploying shortly.
ended up failing this trial because new dates were followed. This time, Willie Peterson, son of founder Alan Peterson.
Oh, shit.
Twitter. Allegation further back there by Carlos Pingo later stated, quote, William A. Peterson told me his partner was guilty of the crime, but the 8 people do not incorporate their
Resurgence.
So who knows?
Stay alive to keep your squad in the fight. Drop point marked. Double FB deployed. Enemies are dropping into the area. Watch the skies.
Prevailed, and Fox was returned to Denver and we'll later find out that Kelly was on the up and up. Tom's lack of discretion, Dr. later writes the following, quote, I was disappointed in his, Tom's, willingness to shoot down Black Bill in cold blood and was beginning to think that perhaps I had been wrong in recommending him. Quote, oh boy, so there you go, old Dr. committed to Dr. Didn't cut out via Pinkerton. Yes, Don continued to follow the bandits down to New Mexico and up into Oklahoma. Foxhorn's behavior grew even worse. Quote, Tom was more and more showing a side of his character that I had never seen before. Character was quick, he had been cooperative, full of stories and a pleasant companion. On a long trail, he was moody, insisted in his own way, and wanted the best of everything. Quote, Doc would also state that everyone would oftentimes clam up and act as if he was angry. Finally, towards the end of October 1891, Bill Curtis over the Cheeto. Curtis, enough. A few days later, here comes Washington.
Our counter UAV is active.
No time flat.
Gas inbound.
They followed Personal and stores to arrest others who helped out the train launch. One of them, Joe McCoy, Tom had to track all the way down to Utah. According to Pinkerton Superintendent Parliament, the apprehension of McCoy was the most important for a long time in this part of the country.
All right, your squad's in the safe zone.
The investigation was wrapped up and Simon up in
Only 25 remain.
Bighorn Mountains, North Central Wyoming.
Motherfucker, I knew that bitch was gonna blow up while I fucking walked through it.
I've said it before, but they don't call Wyoming the Cowboy State for nothing. Southern troops of Johnson County, back in those days, you know, the 1880s, thanks to the Homestead Act.
Friendly loadout drops on the way.
They claimed to 160 acres of prime Wyoming real estate. So long as you made improvements on said land in Arizona for at least 5 years, it was yours. Free and clear. Minus a small registration fee. One thing is, a bunch of small-time ranchers getting in on the action. You had a lot of big money flooding into Wyoming as well. Some of it is back. The only thing is, it wasn't just a small-time ranchers getting in on the action. You had a lot of big money flooding into Wyoming as well. Some survived east, sun from as far away as Europe. These are what we now call cattle bears, i.e. wild ranchers raised for massacred cattle on all that wide open land. They were there first, for the most part, didn't much care about sharing with the small homesteaders, or nesties, they called them. To further exasperate matters, the homesteaders began stringing up barbed wire. Keep in mind that this was all done legally. All residents had every right to settle where they were settling, and there's no rule saying that they couldn't fence their own land. The problem was, the cattle barons still considered that land theirs, despite what the law had to say. In order to protect their interests, the wealthy ranchers formed something known as the Wyoming Stock Growers Association, WSGA for short. Quasi-governmental organization that is essentially just calling the shots there in Wyoming. According to Bill O'Neill, author of the book Johnson County War, quote, like medieval nobles, they controlled vast domains. And like medieval nobles, they rode horseback, booted and spurred across their land. Other mounted men, the proud, picturesque cowboys, rode further in the great herds. With men, cattle, and land, the big ranchers were also pioneers in an enormous, harsh, and nearly empty country. Cattle barons brought capital to Wyoming and provided economic, political, and social
Your squad mate's back on station.
Wyoming territory developed economically. The big cattlemen provided a great majority of its development. Whether the Union Pacific, federal government, and coal mining from colonies. Whoa. So yeah, a lot of big money and power involved there in Wyoming in the late 1880s. And these wealthy ranchers sure as hell didn't need a bunch of broke-out cowboys and small-time outfits buddying up the waters and putting up business. First, they attempted to brand the homesteaders as cattle thieves. This didn't work because WSPA took matters. Like I said, check out the series I did on Quick Cameras. WSPA was reserved for waging a war on smaller ranchers. And when I mean waging war, they literally invaded Johnson County with small killers.
Come on, you camping cunts. Come on, you camping cunts.
No doubt that there was a legitimate issue in Johnson County with
Fucking camping bitch.
Small bunch known as the Red Sash Gang.
You're back on station. Go get after it.
Absolutely for a fact that said, for the most part, 99% of the people accused of being rustlers by the WSGA.
Hey, you're a cunt, dude. You are a cunt.
Be labeled as a rustler. It didn't mean that you were a stock thief, just meant that you weren't a bootlegger for the WSGA. Case in point, Jim Averell and Cavalcade Watson. In the summer 1880, they were both taken from homes, dressed up, and summarily hanged. Bodies left swaying at the end of the ropes. The story goes that not only was Kate a cattle rustler of epic proportions, but also a prostitute. And Dr. Charles Penrose, who participated in the upcoming Johnson County War, stated that Watson was a, quote, cowboy harlot, took her pay and stolen cattle in yearlings. He is, without shame, of a vile tongue, and had to be killed for the good of the country, end quote. Well, I was even able to find an encyclopedia article from as recently as 1977 that lists Cavalcade as being a notorious prostitute who prospered by establishing a body house in Sweetwater, Wyoming, where cattle was the medium of exchange. Turns out, nothing could be further from the truth. The crime that Jim and Kate were guilty of was owning land that the WSGA wanted for their own. One of the cattle barons, an influential WSGA member, Alton Boswell, made several attempts to buy them out, but they refused. First, public blacklisted, which meant they no longer be able to register their brand, and then Boswell sent his cowboys into their accident. If that worked, they were simply executed. And yeah, Boswell did ultimately acquire their land. But sometimes it pays to be a murdering son of a bitch. And after that, the bodies just kept stacking up. Judge WSPA range detective George B. Anderson. His death in October of 1890 was considered to be in direct retaliation over the lynchings of Jim Averell and Cavalcade. Speaking of lynchings, a few months later, one of the smaller ranchers, Thomas Waggoner, was strung up in a similar fashion, and on it went. Skip ahead to September of 1891, when an attempt was made on the life of WSGA rival Nate.
Check your weapons, check your gear. We're holding for deployment.
WSGA cronies.
Enemies are dropping into the area. Watch the skies.
cabin of Steve, self-capital, for the time. Sadly, when his fellow travelers were in the Rangers, already was assassinated outside the town of Buffalo. Days later, yet another traveler, USDA opponent, Tinsdale, was likewise dispatched. As Ranger, Tinsdale, the top manager,
All stations, we are green to go. Stand by for deployment.
When the WSGA would launch that full-scale attack on Johnson County, the invaders around the Nate's cabin, the flight was just a part of the mid-range. The Indians were held out for several hours,
Resurgence. Survive to redeploy fallen teammates. Kill. We got their attention for that one. Move in. Enemy soldier incoming. A deserter left your squad. Going to fast makeup work. Tracked by an enemy squad. Evade and survive.
In the end, the invaders taken into custody by the military, but by cold-blooded murder, they ultimately set free. We're all in the caught, right? Although this invasion is considered a defining moment in the war, it did not mark the end of hostilities. That's the fight broke out between Johnson County residents and the U.S. cavalry. It sent in to keep the peace. The ensuing fight was followed by killing an 18th Florida resident in May of 1893. I know you're thinking, what does all this have to do with Tom Warren? Well, during the whole time,
We are trying to
seek assistance from the Pinkertons. The agency agreed to help for a price for that said, much like the president, John Tinsdale and the Rangers, was present when Nate Champion was killed. This is most likely not true, though. Tom was not part of that bunch arrested by the Army at the TA Ranch. Also, just 4 days after Nate's death, Bourne was back in Denver helping to arrest a pair of fugitives. As for Tinsdale and Ranger, maybe, but there is another suspect as well, former sheriff of Johnson County, Frank Canton. And I do think he had a lot more in the way of motivation. Also, it's worth mentioning that at this juncture of Tom Warren's life, it doesn't really look like he had yet resorted to acting as a cold-blooded killer for hire. According to WSGA Ring leader William Irvine, Tom Warren's quote, had nothing to do with the invasion process, or was he even in the employ of our crime. Quote. This was also backed up by Tom's fellow detective, Dr. Forrest. Truth is, as far as the evidence is concerned, Tom's main involvement was just helping the WSGA recruit gunmen, at least initially. And even then, it was Frank Canton who went down to Texas and signed up the 40 or so men who comprised the bulk of Johnson County invaders. It wasn't until after the invasion, in May of 1892, that Tom Horn, a.k.a. Tom Bell, was commissioned as deputy there in Wyoming under U.S. Marshal Joseph Rankin. And it was during this period, summer of 92, that Tom was most active in Johnson County. Make no mistake about it, though, that the U.S. Marshal badge or not, he was there as a Pinkerton under contract by the WSGA. Per author Larry D. Ball, quote, Horn was first a Pinkerton detective and second a federal lawman. If Horn's duty for the cattlemen in Johnson County coincided with Marshal Rankin, there would be no trouble. When the conflict arose between the two missions, Horn would fulfill his Pinkerton assignment first. End quote. Even Tom himself would make no bones as to his true allegiance. Going so far as to tell Marshal Rankin to his face, quote, I will be frank with you and state that I am instructed through my office in Denver to the Pinkertons to take no instructions from you whatever. Cattlemen are our clients. End of quote. As you can imagine, Tom wasn't all that much help with good Marshal. Although the goals were similar to help put an end to the rustling stock there in Johnson County, it was their tactics that were at odds with one another. Judge Rankin was looking to arrest the thieves, along with those responsible for Deputy Wellman's murder, and see him prosecuted. Horn instead was happy with just running them out of the area. According to Tom, quote, "My instructions were to drive these men out of the country and not arrest them," end of quote. Not to say that Tom didn't arrest anybody during the summer of 1892. He absolutely did. It just didn't occur with the speed or efficiency that Marshal Rankin would have preferred. In late July, Tom and a few other deputies exchanged gunfire with outlaw Ed Starr before taking him into custody. And then, just a month later, he helped to apprehend Kid Donnelly, one of the suspects in Marshal Wellman's murder. A few days later, oddly enough, Tom would even help the Army by tracking down a deserter. As far as Horn's methods, driving rustlers out of the area, I couldn't really find anything in the way of specifics. Like I said a minute ago, it doesn't really look like Tom was actively engaged in killing anybody, but he also wasn't above doing a little bit of old-fashioned harassing. Once again, quote Larry Ball, it appears that Horn was already pursuing the tactics that he would employ for the next decade in the interest of the big livestock owners. It was more expedient to terrorize and drive suspected rustlers out of Wyoming than to go to the expense of attempting legal action. But there is no indication that he had yet contemplated the ultimate solution, assassination. End quote. And yeah, big word here being yet. By the way, I know I keep quoting Mr. Ball quite a bit, but his biography on Tom Horn is excellent. If you get a chance, I would highly suggest you picking up the copy. Tom Horn, Life and Legend. So the main culprits when it came to the legitimate stock theft there in Johnson County, the Red Sash Gang, were also the ones who had murdered Deputy Marshal Wellman, allegedly. Unlike the majority of the ranchers and cowboys labeled as rustlers, these Red Sash boys were indeed true blue criminals. And credit where credit's due, Tom was somewhat successful in cleaning them out. Not only did he help to arrest Kid Donnelly and Ed Starr, but by August 1892, Gang's ringleader, Charlie Taylor, had fled the country entirely. Now, this next little chapter of Horn's life is a little murky, but the long and short of it is, he lost his job with the paper. And sadly, it doesn't really look like there's a definitive answer as to why. During the time, he quit on his own accord, he, quote, "never did like the work," which is somewhat supported by Doc Shores, who claimed that it was the snitching on railroad employees that Horn objected to. Apparently, part of his job entailed bribing train conductors and others who worked for the railroad. If they accepted, he'd turn them into the bosses, and then, of course, they'd be fired. Not really sure how much of this he was doing, while at the same time working for the cattlemen up there in Johnson County, but it was absolutely part of the job. Hell, there were even times when Horn would go undercover on the rails as a hobo, just in order to catch people accepting bribes. That said, Charlie Siringo tells a different story. According to him, Tom was fired for being too rough. Interpret that how you will. I'll say this much though, rough does not necessarily equate to murder. I've heard other sources claim that Siringo implicated Horn in the assassination of Orly Ranger and John Tisdale there in Johnson County, and that William Pinkerton had told him personally that Tom was guilty of the crime. This quote does appear to often be taken out of context though. Read Charlie Siringo's book, Two Evil Isms, not writing about the killing of Tisdale and Ranger, but rather, as I alluded to earlier, that Pharaoh gang that Tom allegedly robbed over in Reno. Speaking of William Pinkerton, according to him, Tom got fired for excessive drinking. Yes, he was warned several times, finally told in no uncertain terms that if he showed up drunk again at the headquarters there in Denver, he'd be fired. But who's telling the truth? It could have just been a mixture of all three. I'll tell you this one, me personally, I wouldn't trust William Pinkerton, Charlie Siringo, or Tom Horn as far as I could tell him. I mean, who we kidding? These three ain't exactly wells unvarnished. That said, Tom did like to drink, and as the years progressed, his drinking really increased. Also, as soon as Tom would get a little heavy-handed when it came to imposing his will on others. Nevertheless, whatever it was that caused Tom to part with Pinkerton doesn't really seem to have harmed his reputation too much there in Wyoming. Fall of 1893, he had already found employment in the southeastern portion of the state as a range detective for the Swan Land Cattle Company, the first successful ranch in the United States to raise freshwater domesticated swans. Apparently, they taste just like chicken, and there's a huge market for them up in Canada. And no, that's not true. In all actuality, the company was named after its founder, Alexander Swan. Mr. Swan had first come to Wyoming back in 1874, settled down in Chugwater Creek. about 45 miles north of Cheyenne. Time Horn arrived, Swan had built damn cattle in Empire. I'm talking the dude owned millions of acres there in Wyoming. I don't know how it was in 1893 when Tom began working for him, but as early as 81, Swan was said to have owned at least 100,000 head of cattle. He was also a politician, aka Crook, had served in territorial legislation, and was an active member of the WSPA. Moore's ranch manager, John Clay Jr., was the damn president of the WSPA. And it was this John Clay who ultimately hired our very own Tom Horn. I think, once again, a little confusing, but during the period we're about to discuss, Tom is not just working for Clay and Swan Cattle Company, but also for the WSPA in general. Doesn't really matter though, because despite his employer, the duties are pretty much just that of a range inspector. If you've ever seen 1980s Tom Horn, starring Steve McQueen, this is somewhat accurately portrayed. Tom is patrolling all over, mostly at night, but he wasn't afraid to go ride up on somebody else's property. By somebody else, I do mean small homesteaders, and inspect their herds, just seeing if any of the cattle belong to his employer or other members of the WSPA. Those who in possession of stolen cattle, or those just suspected of being thieves, were oftentimes given cryptic notes telling it to clear on out of the county or else. That said, I do want to make it clear, once again, at this point in the timeline, there's still no indication that Tom again resorted